You are here, I hope, because you are creatively entrepreneurial or because you are entrepreneurially creative. In either case, what I mean to signify is that you are engaged in work, in thought that is unique, that is innovative, that is brand new. Now, since we're just getting to know each other, let me offer as an authority for this idea that the label entrepreneurially creative should be reserved to designate something new comes from Joseph Schumpeter, the man widely recognized as the seminal thinker on entrepreneurism, who defined it, in fact, in his writings in the 1920s and 1930s at a time when mainstream economists of his era dismissed entrepreneurism as having no material impact on economic life. Schumpeter insisted otherwise. He believed that it was the entrepreneurially creative act that was the driving force of an economy. Now, what was wonderfully radical about Schumpeter was what really attracted me to him when I first started teaching his ideas to my Duke students, and that was his insistence that this new and creative idea behind the innovation could only come from an intuitive leap. He argued that no matter how smart you are, no matter how many smart people you can bring together in a room, you could not logically think your way to an innovation, because if you could, somebody else would have already done it. You could say that their there would be there by the time you got there. Schumpeter insisted that the truly creative insight doesn't come from your logical faculties, but from your intuitive mind. I appreciated that. I understood that as soon as I read that innovation comes from a creative insight, because my success as an entrepreneur has always come from the sudden intuitive leap of understanding that offered me the solution and the strategy and the success narrative, and I didn't see it before, but now I do, and it surprises me when it arrives because I didn't see it coming. But as soon as I see it, it's immediately familiar to me in that now I know exactly what it is, I know exactly what it means, and I can immediately begin to see ways of shaping these new ideas to create full advantage for all involved. Now, there's nothing logical and certainly nothing incremental about that. It's a sudden intuitive leap. Now, that innovative ideas do come from intuitive leaps, from your creative insight, doesn't prove that they don't also come to someone else from the application of their logic, and Schumpeter offers only his assertion that this is so and not proof. My anecdotal evidence isn't proof either, but I find it significant, and perhaps you will, and that is that I've shared Schumpeter's maxim with hundreds and hundreds of people, entrepreneurs, other creative people, entrepreneurially oriented students, and only once has anyone challenged Schumpeter's view, a college econ professor, and he didn't claim experience at logically thinking his way to an innovation. He only insisted that he believed it was possible. I'm not sure that it's necessary for me to declare it isn't possible, but let's apply logic. For logic is an act of building step by step, adding another increment, and the next increment comes from the current one, logically, and by definition, incremental improvement isn't innovation. So if you aspire to transcend that logic chain in the problem that you're working to solve or in the opportunity that you want to grow, let's spend some time here together learning how to build your intuitive muscle, learning how to build your creative insight. Since I think Schumpeter is right about where innovative ideas come from, and because you and your generation will only be as successful as you want to be if you are as creative and as entrepreneurial as you can be, and that's true for all of the many career paths that you're considering, well, I feel something like a calling to try to help you expand and enhance your creatively entrepreneurial abilities. Now, to be clear, I believe the skills and abilities of creative entrepreneurship are vitally important regardless of your interest in starting a new company or not. Considering the major economic trends, as much as possible, all American companies need to expand the creative work quotient of as many jobs as possible. And it's clear to me that your generation needs to make this happen. It's really the only way for us to remain in a leading economy.